I would say what's more important than having a great career is having a great passion. Because when you're passionate about something, then it's not about the money anymore. The money comes and the money goes, and it will go and come in any career. But when you're passionate about something, even on the days that you may not feel like you want to go into work, you'll want to go and do your passion. And so when I get up and I have a chance to log into do a session like this, I mean, it's all about why. And my why is I'm getting the chance to make a difference. You know what I mean? A paycheck at the end of the day is great, but it's not the end goal. Like if you're a doctor, you're not in it for the money, man. You're in it because there are people's lives at the end of the day that can be saved because of your work. And I think that's God's work. You get to do that, you know? And for me, I just feel like that's always been my purpose. And my parents never understood that. And I really had to fight for them to understand that.
How I make my goals is being very aggressive. Like I think a lot of times people make goals and they're very safe and, you know, they're things that they can achieve. And I don't really know if that's really serving them. I try to make very, very aggressive goals, things that I don't even think I might not even meet them myself when I first start. Push, and challenge myself. And I think in doing so, I'm kind of able to unlock more and more of my potential. And I think same goes for everyone else. Like, yes, we're on this journey to find our purpose, but I think we're also on this life journey to find what is our full true potential. And we're only going to do that if we set really aggressive goals that really allow us to challenge ourselves and we're not afraid of that challenge.
You can use it to fuel you, but at the same time, don't let it overpower you. Don't let it overcome you. Keep your head down and keep working. I think that's the best way to defeat ego. Obviously, you celebrate your winnings, you celebrate your achievements, but on to the next one.
I think it's about, you know, working hard and kind of checking it off, like Andrew mentioned, and moving on to the next one. For myself personally, I kind of always have a huge list of things that I want to do, and it's never really ending. And kind of once you are able to achieve one thing, you kind of unlock and open the possibility for so many other things. And so for me, it's just kind of keeping myself focused, looking forward, working hard, creating those new goals.
Went to the resiliency point of it. And so what does resiliency mean to you?
Resilience. It continuously means waking up the next day and pushing that same energy you had when you're at your peak. You can always achieve your greatest goals if you just continuously, keep the same practices, keep the same supportive circle that you had before, or continuously evolving as well. So resilience to me is when you're down and out, when you think that you don't have the energy, when you think that what you're doing isn't working or isn't helping the community, it's changing your perspective to understand that someone will benefit from the good work that you do. Whether it's one kid, whether it's a family, whether it's a Black community, an Indigenous community, continuously thinking about others is what's helped me be resilient. Because if I think just about myself, I could burn out, or I can think, man, I didn't get enough, we didn't raise enough money, or we didn't collect enough food. That would just be my own personal perspective. But thinking that just by starting this, we're helping one person, one family, one student, one Black family, thinking about them is what helps me be resilient. Because if I don't step up, then maybe someone won't, or if I don't step up, maybe someone won't be motivated to step up. There's such a big domino effect, man. It's crazy. Like every day is not a coincidence. Everyone that I meet is not by coincidence. Everything is a purpose. Everything matters. Everything is about the well-being of our community. It's just the effort, honestly. It's the effort. Once you take that step forward and wanting to learn and trying to find resources, we will notice that it's available. Our only downfall is that, society doesn't like to give us enough spotlight, but Black people are strong enough to, hold their own spotlight.
Your things, you won't have challenges, you won't have failure in that. So could you speak a little bit to that? So before you go into that, when I teach a lot of these things, I use falling forward. Got it from Denzel Washington, and he speaks about it a lot. And I say, you're always falling forward. When something happens, it happens, but you can learn from it. So could you share with our audience on here, how you go about doing that, maybe an experience, or what that means to you when you hear the word falling forward? What does it mean to you, or experience?
Yes, falling forward always means getting back up, moving forward. Even if I'm falling forward, I'm always one step closer than I was if I just fell straight or fell backwards. So I always think about that mentality of, falling down 7 times, getting back up 8. And to be honest, the reason that what has strengthened me to continue that practice or that mindset was finding my purpose. And when I knew that my purpose was bigger than me, when I knew that other people would rely on my purpose, other people would rely on me waking up the next day with that same mindset, when I knew even just one kid would benefit off of me, just talking about mental health and talking about positivity, if one person can feed off of my energy, I felt like my purpose has been fulfilled. And keeping that mindset strong has always helped me to, get back up when I feel like I failed. Whenever I feel like I have a bad day, I think about how I can, change that negative perception and be positive and help someone who's gone through the same thing. That's what's always most important. That anything I've ever learned, anything that God has ever blessed me with, it's always about helping, giving it to someone else.
Yeah, I think you should say yes more often. I think majority of people are programmed to say no to opportunities, of course, if they're good ones. But I think for the most part, if you're, opportunities are out there, right? There are endless opportunities out there. Plus, you can create your own.
When I was a teenager and stuff like that, I was hesitant about asking questions in school because I don't want to be looked at as oh, that's a dumb question, what's wrong with this guy and stuff. But when it came to that, I was yo, I'm here for a reason, and I want to grow and I want to learn.
If you're serious about your goals, whatever the case may be, and you say, I want to be this, I want to be a basketball player, you have to find the best basketball trainer. If you want to be a photographer, you have to find people who are getting into those rooms, because I could tell you, it wasn't easy for them. In the same way you say falling forward, these people have fallen forward so many times.
Setting goals is so important. That's what I teach. SMART goals is even more important. So if you don't know what SMART stands for, it's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And basically, the reason why we break down setting a goal, so they always have a higher chance of achieving a goal when it's specific and you can break it down rather than a general one.
And your potential is all about not just who you are and who you become over your lifetime, but also who you inspire along the way. So your potential is actually multiplied when you impact so many other people.
Not even as an entrepreneur, as a person, we all need to be a little bit more thirsty, a little bit more thirsty, a little bit more curious, a little bit more hungry for information, because it's there. And our world is moving so fast nowadays because of so many different things. Things go by everyone all the time, but we need to set time aside to read, to learn, to pick up on things.
I feel like when I was in Turkey, I remember I was in my living room playing video games, and I was is this really is this really my career? And I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna put my head down, work hard, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if it happens, it happens. So that's my mentality. I always go 100% in, and then just so I don't have any type of regrets.